Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Today I want to do a little comparison video for you, and we're going to talk about these new small parts boxes that you're seeing on the internet a lot. This one's by Dewalt, and this one you can see I have in use here. It's pretty much loaded with screws. This one is by a company called Storehouse. Now, Storehouse is sold on Amazon and it's sold at Harbor Freight. Dewalt, as we know, is sold in a lot of places, to include Amazon and the Home Depot. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is right now, the Home Depot has this model on sale very inexpensively at $9.98, which is exactly what this model goes on sale for at Harbor Freight, $9.99. They're the same size. So we're doing a comparison of basically cases that are about 13 inches by 16.5 inches, and they're 4¼ inches deep. I say about because the exteriors are a little bit different with the way the hinges and stuff are, but the interiors are the same. Let me open these for you. The interiors are both exactly 15.5 inches. So that makes these a very, very good comparison set of boxes because they're the same exact size inside basically. They both come with removable cups that are basically the same size, as you can see here. And they come in two different sizes for both of these. Now, with the Dewalt case, you get two of these larger cases, as you can see here, and 8 of these, what I'm going to call medium-sized cases. With the Storehouse, you get 4 of the large and 4 of the medium. Both are the same size in both systems. So one thing to look at there is, do you need more large ones or do you need more medium ones? Now, I'm comparing this size, but both of these systems make several other sizes that also include different size cups inside of them. Both systems are interchangeable, so you can pull the cups out of one size, put them in another size. So if you need a different configuration and you're buying, you know, a handful of these, which a lot of people do, you can mix and match and get what you need to go on in here. So why am I comparing these things? Well, you know, like I said, right now this one's on sale for $9.99 or $9.98. Harbor Freight puts this on sale all the time with either Inside Track or instant savings sales, other coupon sales. These go on sale quite a bit. So you can get this one for $9.99 quite a bit. But if you're getting it at full price, $14.99 and $19.99. So there's a $5 difference with these things at full price. So what we need to find out is the Dewalt worth $5 more than the Harbor Freight? And how I'm going to talk to you about that is I'm going to give you a couple of use cases on how I see these things being used, and I'm going to tell you how I think they can work. As you can see, I'm using this one now. I've been using it for quite a while. I already did one video on this system, and I had some positives and a few cautionary negatives to talk about this system. So let's talk about use case 1, and we'll see if it will work for me. Use case 1, I think, is going to be used by a lot of people. I use it this way. You know, here I have, these are all my Craig screws in here for my Craig jig. I use it here in the shop. I never move this out to my vehicle. I never take it to job sites. This literally sits right here under this bench. And I just pull it out here when I'm using my Craig jig, take the screws out. And normally what I do is I just take out the cup that has the screws that I'm using, put it on the bench, put the rest of the case underneath. That's as far as it goes. And I'm going to tell you, both of these cases are well made enough to handle that use case. So if you are in the shop and you're not going to ever take these out of the shop, you're not going to move them around, you're just going to go over to a cabinet, open it up, or over to a counter, or a lot of people are building little cubbyhole type cabinets to put like 6 or 8 of these in. And that's a really good idea. You know, if you're just going over to that cabinet taking a couple of cups out to use them, and then putting them back, either one of these are going to work. So buy the one that actually has the right configuration of cups for you, is the only thing I can say. If you're buying them on sale, if you're buying them full price, this guy's $5 cheaper, so that's something to think about. But the second use case, we have a few things to think about here. This use case is also probably used by a lot of people. You know, for this one, you're not using them just in your shop. You might keep them in your shop, you might be using them in your shop, but you're also putting them in your van or your truck, and you're going to job sites. And you're picking these things up and you're going to the truck, you're throwing it in the back of the truck, you're going down the road, you're pulling it back out, you're putting it on a ladder, you're out in a job site, whatever you're doing with it. We got to talk a lot more about build quality when we're doing that, because that is really hard on these things. So the build quality of these tools, I'm going to talk about three different parts. I'm going to talk about the bottom, the base. I'm going to talk about the top, and then I'm going to talk about the hinges and latches, the hardware on them. Those are the three pieces to these systems. The bottoms, I'm going to tell you, are both made out of the same type of molded plastic that is, you know, it gives a little bit, it's got a little bend to it. So if this was in the back of the truck and it slid into something, you know, it might absorb a little bit. It would probably take a little bit of a hit. It may not break. It's probably the right material that they used for the bases of both of these. So that's kind of a wash, as is the cups. The cups are pretty much, to me, the same. Honestly, there's a little bit more going on inside the cups in the Dewalt, but the cups are the cups. They're the same. Be perfectly honest with you guys, if you buy different sizes and you mix and match the cups, you can also, if you're really ingenious and you have a 3D printer, you can make cups to the size you need. I've seen a YouTube video where a guy made double stack cups. So if you're one of those guys with a 3D printer, you really can go crazy with this thing. Now the lids are where we're starting to talk about being very different. On this one, we have a very bendy, very bendy type of plastic. It's kind of see-through, it's kind of opaque, but I can see what's in there. This one is very clear, and it's a more, it flexes a little bit, but it's definitely more rigid. It's more solid than this one. The positives I see to this one being flexible is if it is sliding around in the truck, again, very bendable. It might take a hit and just bend and absorb the hit. This is that harder type of plastic that it will take a hit, but my guess is if it takes a real hard hit, it could chip or crack, which honestly is not a good thing. Here's the deal with it. I still prefer this lid because these things, when you're carrying them, this has a lot of screws in it, and it feels like, this feels like it wants to flex a little bit. I'm worried this lid is so flexible it could bounce open if it were to be dropped, or if it were to, if you drop this off the second step of a step ladder or a sawhorse, I'm worried this one's going to kick open. I don't think this one will. This is nice and rigid. It's not going to flex and bounce open. And my concerns about it bouncing open become more of a concern when we talk about the latches. The latches on the Storehouse and the hinges are very, very cheap plastic. You can see how flexible this is. I am worried the combination of these cheap latches and the flexible lid really is going to lead this thing to pop open if you drop it. I'm a little worried about carrying this many screws, just walking with it, that it could just bounce open on me. I don't think that's going to happen with the Dewalt. I think the Dewalt, with the more rigid top and these solid metal latches that really do clamp down nicely, you can hear that. That's a good solid clamp down. I am very confident that this one could fall off of a sawhorse and not break open. You might chip it, you might put a crack in it. That kind of crap happens on the job site all the time, so it is what it is. But I'm not worried about what do you got in these things falling out from that kind of an injury, or from a slide in the back of the truck. I would be worried if I drove this in the back of my truck. I'd find 3,000 screws in the back of the truck when I got there. The other side of this, the hinges are just plastic here, where you do have some metal pins in here. The hinges are better, the lid's better, the latches are better. So build quality wise on the lid and the latches, the hardware and the lid are much better on this Dewalt. So use case 2, if you're going to the job site, you really want the Dewalt, guys. I would almost certainly recommend this one over this one for that use case. Now, and honestly, I just found that this one doesn't like to stand up on its own here. It may not be a big deal for you. Now, should you always only buy the Dewalt? Well, right now, the Dewalt's on sale for $9.98. So yeah, buy the Dewalt. It's the better product, and it's basically at the same price as this one is on sale. When they're both MSRP, let's say you're not watching this now. This is Black Friday. This is the 5th of November, I believe. We are in Black Friday time, and you know, these prices are lower. You're probably going to see these come down during Black Friday as well. If it's not Black Friday when you're watching this, this is 20 bucks, this is 15 bucks. So if your use case is only use case 1, you're just going to put these on a shelf and you're going to go over and open it up, pull a cubby out, put it on a bench and use it. I'm going to be honest, guys, this Storehouse one will get the job done for you. Obviously, so will the Dewalt. If you're buying them at full price, and let's say you want to buy 10 of them and build one of those cubby hole cabinets, that's 50 bucks. You know, 10 of these at $5 difference, it could cost you an extra 50 bucks to buy the Dewalt. And if you really want to go with just use case 1, you could get away with these. I highly recommend the Dewalt over the Storehouse though, because it is just much better made. And, you know, I'm comparing these two sizes. I'll put links to both of them in Amazon below. But, and I'll put the Home Depot link to this one where it's on sale right now. But to be very honest with you, you really should maybe consider going a few extra pennies and getting the, I just noticed this, they have two side clips there too. I didn't even notice that when I bought it. So that's even a better, that's a better locking mechanism there. That's really nice. This lid just, you know, this just looks like it wants to come off. You can see that there? That doesn't happen here. So that's the video, guys. In a nutshell, if you're only doing use case 1, you could get away with the Storehouse. I've been using them. I own them. I'm not going to get rid of them. But what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to transfer my screws to the Dewalts. And, you know, as a woodworker, I have a lot of hardware, latches, hinges, knobs. I go out and scavenge, you know, furniture that I see on the side of the road people are throwing away, and I'll go take the knobs and the hinges off of them. So I'm going to fill these Storehouse uppers with those, put them on the side, you know, in the shop, and I'll only go over and open them once in a while, and they'll be fine. They'll do that job fine. The Dewalt is the much better tool, or the much better box. It's the system, if you're going to go for these kinds of things, that I would recommend buying. That's the video, guys. I hope you liked that. I hope it was informative. If you did, please hit the like button. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.